Shenanigans.
You mean shenanigans?
Shenanigans. Shenanigans. Evil shenanigans.
Shenanigans, right?
Shenanigans.
Audio's definitely there.
We can skip to this.
We can cut this part out.
Yeah. So what's our?
Are you guys editing the video while you're recording the video?
Hey,
you guys fuck
hey,
off.
Fuck you, Bob. You come down here and you try this shit, huh? I got a fucking day job.
You don't tell me how to do my job. I don't come knock the squeegee out of your hand.
I'll come kicking dicks out of your mouth at work.
Kicking dicks out of your mouth at work.
It's my favorite stand-up comics comeback line, implying that you're some type of dick sucker at work.
You just have to suck a dick at work. It's
Well,
fine.
I mean, maybe you're a whore and that's your job. So I don't know. I don't know who else has to suck a dick at work. A porn actress? I don't know.
Either way, you're just a whore. Accept it. Nothing's wrong with it. We don't sex shame here. No.
It's the oldest profession, so I don't know. I can't go back in history and shame billions of ladies.
Sex. Just making fun of sex sales, or what do they call it? The sex workers. Sex workers are not to be shamed for all these girls selling nudes and everything like that. Like,
You have benefited from that.
many of times.
You have benefited from that. You had a chick come and put a car on layaway and then showed her boobies to people online.
And paid her down
And that's
payment.
how she paid for it.
That's how she pays for her truck every month.
That's amazing to me.
If this is not America, the land of the opportunity, I think we're missing out.
God bless her.
I'm just saying.
Think about this. Beforehand, if you were going to sell your body, you either had to pay for a photographer, get headshots, go into softcore porn.
There's soft corn now? We got
Soft
soft
corn,
corn?
yes.
Damn, I'm hungry.
As soon as we get into some soft corn. But you get into now you can just, from the safety of your home and the privacy of your home, you're legally allowed to do sex acts online for money.
Well, legally is a loose term there because like they don't pay taxes on it or anything. So that's like there's actually a hyperlink you can click on to report women for selling premium Snap stories without paying taxes on it. Which is crazy for me to think of because I'm like, if I sell my nudes, I don't feel like somebody should be able to tax that. I'm not a big tax fan anyway. I think we're taxing way too much as it is. But
okay, the question today, guys, and put this in the comments below. Should we report? No. Should people that do nefarious acts and get paid have to pay taxes? Okay? That means you're a weed farmer, you have money, income. Shouldn't you have to pay taxes?
Mowing the neighborhood lawns, you know? Like, there's just so many different things that I don't know, man.
Horrible person. My kid's trying to make $5 mowing the lawn, got to pay $1.25 to taxes.
This nice girl's just trying to make money for her truck payment, and she's got to pay.
Okay, well, you guys see both sides. What is it?
Yeah.
Is it better for people to do cash acts? Should they go ahead and pay taxes, or should they be exempt from having to pay taxes because they I think a wage was considered profit for your time. This is like when I buy your time. If I give you $2 and you give me 2 minutes of your time, then you're exchanging it for something. That's not a wage.
That's not a wage.
That is the transaction.
Yeah. It's kind of like you're making these videos, taking these pictures, grabbing that lawnmower, doing whatever you're doing in hopes of making money.
Right.
It's not like you're like, in my opinion, she's already paying taxes on her cell phone bill that she uses to record it with.
True.
She already paid taxes when she bought the camera. She paid taxes when she bought the vibrators, all that stuff.
Right.
I think that should just count enough. You already paid taxes on it.
So you guys put in the comments below what you think. I am for no. I don't think that. If you skirt the government in taxes, I totally understand. I can't say anything because I don't think that I know.
I don't know if you've ever seen it. I've seen it on Facebook, like I see almost everything else, or Twitter, one or the other. And it's all like government. You have to pay taxes. People. Okay, how much? Government. You have to figure it out yourself.
Yeah, right.
People. Okay, what if I get it wrong? Government.
We'll put you in jail.
You go to jail.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's the truth.
So.
But point being, people make mistakes. But I don't think that, if you're making money in the way you're making it, leave them alone, man. I think there's other way to collect fees. I think there's I think taxes are kind of theft anyways. Yeah. I'm not one of those that goes, all taxes are all theft. I don't believe
Not
that.
all taxes are theft.
But I think some taxes
nothing's
are theft.
completely black and white like that. There's, of course, gray area.
Absolutely.
But like I said, you're paying taxes on your cell phone already. That should count for something because ultimately it's cell phone tax. What's it matter?
Well, you figure that people that I know right now in politics, those who believe that you cut corporate taxes brings in corporate businesses to make taxes. They don't just pay taxes; they actually make more taxes for that area.
Let's just make more taxes.
They do. They not only are they paying taxes. Let's say you there was no business here, zero business. And they moved in and started paying $8 million a year in taxes and corporate tax, right? So, but everyone that there's there, I mean, so it actually creates more like $100 million a year. So their $8 million creates all this because of all the stuff they buy and all the money they spend, creates this other. So
it drives in business.
Right. So if you cut that 8% off that $8 million off the top and just made them pay the other, I mean, that's $100 million that you're making off of $8 million. If you cut that $8 million off, they're still making $100 million, right? They may get all the tax breaks because they're doing everything right to create jobs and create other taxes. I just think the ones that get I just think the ones that get too big for their britches, like the Facebooks and all that, I think they're gone too far. But I do think that that's okay that those people do that. So I know some are like, oh no, you can't.
I think it's the idea of like donating to charity to avoid tax breaks. You know what I mean? Everybody does that. I think that's perfectly fine. Give a reason. Yeah, you know, you got to spend $3 billion on charity, and then as long as it's like a legitimate charity, not like.
You know, you can have a race car and spend a bunch of money too, right?
Call it charity. That's what I'm saying. As long as it's a legitimate charitable event,
Not like you do race cars.
Not like the Mark Zuckerberg.
Why do you think M&M's has a NASCAR car? Because it costs them $1 billion a year to keep that thing on the road. That way they don't have to pay taxes, even though it probably makes some money somewhere else. Merchandise.
Endorsements.
It's copyrighted by M&M's LLC.
Who owns M&M's? Is it
probably Disney.
Probably. Disney just cuts the podcast right there.
Well,
just shuts down. No, you guys aren't allowed to tell people that.
Well, it's not the same Disney. It's the off-brand. You know, DESNY.
Disney.
Disney. Just enough to avoid copyright.
My favorite thing is Disney now owns Simpsons. So they got all 30 seasons of Simpsons on Disney Plus now.
Oh,
and
wow.
Disney is not, it's been a target of the Simpsons multiple times. And I'm like, you know how great it is?
They wanted to buy them a long time ago, didn't they?
Well, they wanted to buy the mother company and
Them
everything.
and Sony. I thought Sony was another one that.
Yeah. I follow all that stuff pretty much. Well, just because Disney now owns Marvel and everything, and plus now Sony and all that stuff. So there's so much they own that it's kind of hard not to follow it. Just because if you like fucking watching any of the superhero movies, you might as well like Disney now. That's just the way it is.
Well, Joe Rogan had a podcast the other day. Guess who was on it? Iron Man.
Oh, Mr. Robert Downey.
Oh, dude, it was wonderful. I watched probably like an hour and a half. I think it's like a 3-hour long one. It's long, and so you know that they had a lot to talk about. And I love both of those guys. Like, so it was like, for me, it was a treat. It was like eating candy.
Yeah.
And he talked about all sorts of cool stuff.
Is it there?
I just don't want to ruin it for anyone because I don't want to. It's Robert Downey Jr. You'll want to hear him say it anyways. But they talked about like Tropic Thunder and some of those other things. And what his mom thought.
You're white. Act white.
Yeah, booty juice.
Tropic Thunder is classic.
Dude.
He did blackface the whole movie. And pulled it off.
And no one said shit.
No one said shit. Well,
no one said shit. But he did it right. I mean, I think it was done tastefully and funny. And I mean, it is a stereotype if you want to call it that. But I mean, I
don't know if you want to call it that. I think it's full blown a stereotype, which is why I think if it's in your face stereotype, it's okay. But if it's subtle stereotype,
dude, it was a white guy dressed as a black guy with a.
You watched
never broke character.
Never. The whole movie. You wouldn't know it was Robert Downey Jr. if you didn't tell. Like, you'd be like,
is that a black Robert Downey Jr.?
Who's this new black guy? Robert Downey Jr. got a black cousin. Nobody told us.
Did he get a blackiotomy? Robert Downey Jr.?
You're all Googling reverse vitiligo. Does this exist?
How did you know Michael Jackson? How did you know? Do you have his same nutritionist?
Nutritionist. What was it? It was.
Well, you don't want to say anesthesiologist or anesthesiologist.
It didn't work out well for him.
Nah. That guy's in jail.
He sleeps like, I don't know how to fuck Michael Jackson sleeps, but it's got to be something weird.
What were you gonna do?
It was
looked like you were gonna.
God, Cat Williams, I think. I don't know.
Gonna haunt us?
God, some comedians talking about it, and they're like, could you just imagine Michael Jackson going to sleep the last time, and he's just sitting there, and he's laying down, he's like, I don't know how to fuck Michael Jackson sleeps, but I assume it's not like a normal person. So
can't be. How does Michael Jackson sleep?
And he's just, he's like, give me my anesthesia now.
Help me sleep pronto.
And then he died.
Dude, you know what? I really liked Michael Jackson, though. I'm a big fan of Michael Jackson.
Again, he was a pioneer too. I mean, he wasn't exactly what we call an outlaw like the rest of them, but he was a pioneer.
Oh, he was
for
an outlaw.
dancing. I mean,
Oh boy, he was an outlaw.
He was like,
and the kid fucking outlaw. He was
a kid fucking outlaw.
Hey,
don't you climb trees?
If he was the like an old movie thing, he would be the Lone Ranger of fucking kids. Is what he. Hi ho, Silver, away! You know, that's Michael Jackson would be the Lone Ranger of kid fucking.
Kid fucking. I mean, so I want to say corrected. Michael Jackson's definitely an outlaw, a little more than I was giving him credit.
I mean,
for.
come on, man, come on.
I mean, yeah.
He was wanted in more than one place.
And it was for 20 years. 20 years he did this shit, and they're still all like, well. And he's all like, I made a new dance move. And then he just, he did fuck kids. I forgot. He fucked the kids. And everybody's mad at Eminem for talking about him.
Well, when they killed him off, I heard he was getting ready to do his tell-all tour about all the bad stuff that was going on. And so then the government up and killed him. Well, it was his
anesthesiologist.
It was his clone that they were killing, is what I heard.
The lizard people already replaced him.
Come on, I told you I'm a conspiracy nut. And Dave Chappelle's clone, too. You know, I don't believe that because he's still Dave Chappelle. I just watched a special. That is not Dave Chappelle.
That is not Dave Chappelle.
100% Dave Chappelle. And I'm glad that he came out and did his thing against the bullshit that's going on out there.
I just shared a meme that says, like, I still find myself randomly laughing at shit Dave Chappelle said back in 2003. And I'm like, ain't that the fucking truth, man? He has
one of the best deliveries of jokes of all time. And he's a genius. I mean, he is a comedian's comedian. He's my favorite, probably the favorite comedian that I have.
I think one of those relatable across all planes, too, because you don't have to be black, white, Mexican, anything to actually like Dave Chappelle, because he's just funny.
No, we've all seen the
and he's not as, I don't know, like, he's not as Black Kings of Comedy, like, you know, he's not Bernie Mac.
He was a little bit more across the board, because he did grow up in places like D.C. that was a little hard, and then he also lived in like some small town, kind of Midwest.
Fucking Ohio or
something like that.
And where he lives now.
In a nice area, so he knew the white kids too.
He got an Asian wife?
Yeah. But the guy's cool. Like Dave Chappelle I've never thought anything racial about him, I mean, his racial jokes are funny.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but I never thought that any of them were so distasteful that they were bad. It made me laugh.
I don't think Dave Chappelle's ever called somebody a cracker, and I felt offended by it. Racism doesn't hurt your feelings if you don't think a person's racist. You know what I mean?
I don't think anyone's racist.
So, but I'm saying, like, for most people, they don't. So, like, whenever you hear somebody say something racist and they're not a racist person, you're like, that's okay, because we know you're not a piece of shit.
But you can't walk outside and say two things in this world. A racial slur, or that you like the current administration. Because you will get bombarded with hate. It is. Go on Twitter and do some Trump stuff. See what happens. You'll be met with love, I promise. Yeah. No, I'm telling you. My listeners and people watching, go on Twitter and say something wonderful about Trump and see if people, like, congratulate you and say thank you. Because they won't. They will hate you. You'll probably get kicked off of Twitter.
You follow all the posts on Facebook. It's I wouldn't say it's split down the middle, but there's definitely some supporters in there. But even the supporters and the antagonists or whatever else you want to call them always just turn to the same thing of, oh, well, you're stupid. And I'm like, that's your bottom line there? That's all you got?
Here's the problem. You have some people that believe they're fighting for an idea of a utopia.
Do the same thing for football, though. We just had this conversation. Seahawks shouldn't have lost. 49ers shouldn't have won. Green Bay lost. That line was here and there. And these people start battles over something as simple as football. You think they won't start battles over a president?
When you just come out, like I said, the social justice warriors, these guys are chewing each other up. Intersectionality. Like, how oppressed are you? Right? The more oppressed you are, the more credit you get. I don't like that. I think maybe...
You got a valid point there, right?
Come on.
The more struggle you see,
come on,
the more people care about your opinion.
In our community,
which does not give you it doesn't make you a smarter person because you see more of a struggle. That's just not true.
Now, of those people that are intersectionalities, right, people that do have the oppression, to bring them to the top to help them rise, I don't have any problem. I just don't want to see the government get involved. Locally, if we had a guy running here, or a girl running here, or a trans person running here, or whatever person...
Queers.
If we had the queers running...
As long as the queer was cool, we vote for the queer.
If that queer person had the same political views as I do, I would vote for them. I don't care. If my plumber comes in and flushes the shit down the toilet, I pay him and he goes home. I don't care if he goes home and kicks his dog. Okay, my shit goes down the toilet. That's what I need, right? So I don't care. Good. You represent me? Represent me. That's what I want.
I mean, but I almost somebody representing me that kicks dogs.
You mean shenanigans?
Shenanigans. Evil shenanigans.
Shenanigans, right?
Shananigans.